Okay, I'm back again working on my Vim book. Let's get into it. Let me share my screen and let us begin. Last time I was continuing to work on this Vim book, I had done search, and then I've added a bunch of plugins that are sort of some IDE ish features, let's just say. Right? When you start Neovim, now you'll see this starting screen so you can look at the files that were most recently opened. Neotree, so you can have a tree of files and navigate them. Plugins like that kind of just improve that IDE-like experience. One big part of that is LSP. And LSP is a language server protocol from our friends at VS Code, open source to the world, and now used by pretty much everyone. So I'm going to go ahead and try and implement LSP again from the docs. Excuse me. See if there's any modifications or changes I need to make to my own documentation and book here, which will not be fun. I can tell you that right now. Let me go halfsies. Maybe for our purposes here, I can even make this like a couple of sizes smaller, just so I fit in more text on the screen, have more visibility. I'm using LSP setup, LSP config, obviously Mason and Mason LSP config to bring all of these things together. It is not simple, I'll tell you that. So let us begin, and let's hope that we don't run into too many issues. Let's go. Just making sure that this is the same plugin I'm using everywhere, and it is. I'll go ahead and close some of these. So I'll keep awesome open, and I'll close the rest of these forever open tabs. Let's get into the LSP config documentation and see whether installation is still the same. .10 and above is required now. And let's see. Install a language server. So we don't have to install this particular language server. We just have to install a language server. Using Vim's package features, consult the documentation for your plugin manager. So it just says, hey, just get the plugin. Don't worry about it. All you need is the plugin. So is that what I have here? Yeah, all I have is the plugin. And then I have the Lua setup here. And then you additionally have to install the actual language server for whatever language you're using. Mason will take care of that for us automatically later. But for now, as we're installing LSP on its own, we will need to do that. So let's bring this in. I will need to load up Lazy actually and clear things up because I use this computer for work sometimes, so I need to switch back and forth to my actual Vim config and then back to the work in progress Vim config. So let us clean out the plugins that aren't here. Now when I exit and come back in, it should install nvim LSP config. I should also just jump back into the init.lua file here. I should already have this installed. And in the off chance that I do not, would you like to, not right now, please. Let's just run that anyway in the background while we continue. Well, it's done. Okay, so yeah, LSP configs work by attaching themselves to a buffer depending on whether that config applies to that specific buffer. If we use bad syntax, we'll begin to see diagnostic errors. Let's see if that is true. If I get rid of this Does not seem true. So let's just make sure that we come back in, give it a few seconds, and try this again. And maybe the setup for Lua has, no, so now it is true. So now you can see this E pop in, and when I undo, it disappears. So now we have functional LSP for Lua for the most part. There are certain commands that you can do to check. I'm doing LSP info down here. And this will tell us right away. So Lua LS has been attached to this buffer. And you can see all the work that it's doing. It's open a new tab, so I can close this tab up. You could stop, restart, and start LSP for any given kind of client, let's just say. You could also do LSP log and look at the logs. So that's available to you. One thing you'll notice is when I do this, the whole number region, I don't know what this is called, actually shifts. And when I undo that, it'll shift back, which is fairly annoying. So let's have that sign column be persisted. So we'll use this bit of code. Go up here to the last area that we had for general config and add sign column. So now when I come back and I am to remove this comma, the E pops up in this space over here. The silent column, the sign column is always present. It does take up a chunk of screen here. I don't love it, I'll tell you that, but I have gotten used to it. So it's part of my config. So now we can see that error pop in and out on that side area. Okay, so this little bit here, now that we have LSP here, and this does provide formatting as well. So presumably if I add multiple spaces here or multiple spaces here, I'm not sure whether this will be formatted, but let's take a look. Lua vim.lsp.buff format. And it did get rid of the trailing spaces and the spaces before the comma. So formatting is working as well as part of this LSP config for Lua. And it'll only work for Lua because that's all we have configured here. Right, so installing all the individual language servers and managing their key mappings, and because we're going to map formatting to something, and doing all that work is quite a bit. So we will change it up. So now I'm asking you to remove the LSP config that you just installed, although I'm using Vim commentary here, which I'll need to remove. So I'm down here, and everything else is fine, except the line of code that's actually above here is this. So I'll just copy the whole thing to be the full representation. And that'll be, whoops, that'll be pasted here. I thought I copied it, I did not. So let me go back and actually copy it. Let's see, I could probably just copy it from here, which will be more accurate, hopefully. Okay. And I will need to add that extra bit of space here. Get rid of that and come back here and refresh. And I should begin to see the correct bit of code. None of this has changed, so I don't need to remove it. Right, so what am I asking you to do? Oh, this is a lot, unfortunately. Fine, no problem. And I might condense it one way or another. Let's see. So removing this bit again, and now we're adding this entire bit. And let's see if I explained what I was doing there. So for now, I'll just exit, re-enter, where you're seeing LSP setup, Mason LSP config, and Mason.nvim come in. One thing I didn't do is look at their docs to see what has changed. So let's actually go ahead and do that now. Okay, let's take a look. Our best effort is supported by the community. Like this real warning sign is kind of discouraging, to be honest. The first thing you see is like danger, warning. But I mean, this is a very useful plugin. So having that said, installation is very basic. So nothing. Wait, I'm in the wrong. I'm in the wrong plugin. Did I not copy this? Did I not paste it? Does this return? What I meant to do was go here. Okay, this is better. What do we have? So just double checking here. Yep. Mason LSP config, and then just pump in your servers under ops, it says. And I'm doing mine under config. Servers, so whatever goes in ops is kind of provided to set up. For my purposes, I will actually continue to do this instead of doing ops because I need to do a lot of refactoring. I do use Vue language server. I do use TypeScript language server. I might end up removing certain servers I do not use personally. This particular plugin also comes with the options to do mappings, and it has some default mappings for us. I'll be changing those since I prefer my own mappings. It provides an on-attach function so that we can configure specific things here and there. Configuration of LSP inlay hints. I don't think I saw this the last time I was using this. So that will, okay, I'll see how that plays out. But for now, we have it installed here. And I believe if I go back here and remove this comma, for example, so everything is still functional. Nothing's changed. The only part is we do get Mason out of this. And Mason allows us to manage all these language servers, their installation, their upgrades, and all of that. So I don't have to go into Brew or whatever given my operating system and install it manually. Very useful. All right, let's go back and let me actually try and remember what I wrote here. This seems familiar to the setup we had before. However, the LSP setup plugin configures auto format on saving the file and configures key maps for LSP. Let's override those mappings so they don't conflict with our other mappings. Yeah, I think that the mappings that they have by default conflict with my personal other mappings, so I can't do that. Let me add some spaces here, save, and see if they get removed on save. And they do. So there is auto format on save. I don't like auto format on save, to be honest, because sometimes I'll download like an open source project and it has its own conventions, and sometimes it doesn't have like a linting tool or a config associated with it, and I don't want to save and then make it my own. Same thing for even work projects where there's a lot of history. I don't necessarily want to end up changing every file I touch all the time in terms of its formatting. So I do not like auto format by default. Okay, so here, let me take a look at this configuration again and see what I need to override, whether anything has changed. So default mappings, I will have to say false. And custom mappings will override the default mappings, for example. So, okay, fine. And I guess I'll bring this back and I'll compare once I've done the copy paste of my bits here. So, yeah, that looks good. So I can copy all of this and paste it up front here. And I guess if I save, it'll auto format, which is, it's nice. I do use it. I just don't have it on by default for all projects. I manually configure it. Not every time, just I have a local config that allows me to do that. Okay, so default mappings equals false. And let's just compare this with the list of mapping suggested. So I do have GD. I have this GD. So these are sort of declarations. Go to declaration, go to definition based mapping. What they have actually done here, which is nicer, because if I press G, okay, so it is defined. Go to declaration. I don't know why I don't have all these icons. It might be related to my font. I'll take a look later. G. So it does have these, even though I don't define them here. I'm not too bothered by it, to be honest. But okay, GD, GI, GR, capital K, which I use for search for word under cursor. I don't want to change that. So instead I use capital L for hover to trigger the hover. So I suppose I'm trying to see here if this will work. Capital L did not work. Actually, I need to save and come back here. So now hopefully it will work, or something will work. Capital L, there you go. There's that little hover that triggers when I press capital L because I'm using capital K or Shift K already. Control K for signature help. I can't use Control K for signature help. I'm using Control K for matchup. And if we remember, matchup does this. This little, in this case, it's not very useful. But if I press it twice, it does the breakdown of the entire path, like the entire indent lines up all the way. So this line of code belongs to line 83, for example. It's all indented all the way there. And if you're working with code bases that you're not super familiar with, it can come in very handy. Okay, so that's why I need to override these. I actually don't end up using signature help all that much anyway. Leader RN for rename, leader CA for code actions. I do use this. For format, instead of doing leader FO, because I have leader F mapped to a lot of finding things, I have leader FO for format. And instead of space E or leader E, I have leader FD for opening the diagnostic float, which turns out I don't do very often. What I end up doing very often, in fact, is this. Diagnostic, go to previous and go to next. What I'm noticing is the config here has changed for this. So I'll copy that over and paste it here. Let's uncomment. I'm getting the error because there's duplicates. And let me just take a look to see what it is doing. It's doing this float equals true business, which I'm not sure what that ends up doing. So let me bring this back. Maybe I can remove this comma here and press close bracket D, which will jump me to where this error is happening. And it does this. I do not love what I see, to be honest. It's not very clear that it's a hover or a float or what have you. What happens if I just remove it for now, and we'll see what it feels like. Let's come back in. Oh, geez. It doesn't work because I saved a file that has an error in it. So you can't process everything. So here we go. We're back with a proper config. Let's get that error in here. Let's press close bracket D. So jump my cursor from here to where that diagnostic issue is. And nothing. I don't see anything at all. So definitely I need that float equals true for one thing. So float equals true. And let's get that here as well. I did it again, didn't I? No, I didn't. Okay, good. I did think that I did it again. Let's do this. Okay, so let's see if we can't make it look better. And maybe some of that has to do with this inlay hints enabled. And I will actually try and get that in on the first run here. I did leader FO to do that formatting, by the way. Let's jump out, jump back in, remove this comma, get the error. Let's jump to it. No, looks not great. So I'm going to get rid of this. I don't know what it does. I might end up reading up on that later. What am I saying here? Note that we're using Telescope for some of the mappings. We are. The auto format on save comes with the LSP setup plugin, has a very low timeout range. This causes issues. It does. And most LSP servers hook into the formatting by default. We want to be able to configure these. In order to address this, we'll be doing some refactoring here. The next part might seem a bit convoluted, but it's for a purpose. Trust me, I say. So I'm telling you to refactor whatever's in here in the servers section out. So I'll copy paste that here right under that config function, which is why I did not want to use the opts. And then we will delete around brackets here from our surround plugin and use servers. And so this is essentially this here. Right? I suspect that will be the case. Yep. So that's step number one. Step number two is let's add an onAttach function to LSP setup and then write our own autosave on format command. We'll also sneak in a visual key range mapping for code actions here. I actually don't know if this works at all. I have not seen this work. But we'll try. So we're adding an onAttach function right under servers over here. And let's save. And what am I saying here? I'm saying if formatting is empty, if formatting is not empty, off stream maybe sometime I'll try and clean this up. Then if formatting is not empty, then connect formatting to the server capabilities. Otherwise, don't do it. And then I've snuck in this visual range code action, which I've never actually used myself. This is a lot, won't lie. This is a lot for someone who's starting Vim or Neovim or whatever you want to call it. At the end here of the setup, I am adding a variable saying local auto format equals true. And then I'm adding some user commands, auto format disable, auto format enable, and creating an LSP format auto group. And another command here. Oh, sorry, on this event here, where I guess I am on write if local auto format. So I'm checking this variable to see whether I should actually auto format on save or not. So this is the on save, and I have my own timeout here. This is a lot for something like this. I've also snuck in this leader LR, which is a shortcut for LSP restart. Because sometimes I find things get a little bit messy and I need to restart the LSP. Let's save this and see what we get out of it. So for one thing, actually, you know what? I think I do have auto format enabled by default because it says true here. And I disable it on a per project basis. I think that's it. That is actually the truth. So if I come out here and save now, this works. I am doing this check to see if formatting is whether formatting is true or false, right? So servers, client name, servers, client name. Theoretically, I should be able to do formatting equals false here. Save, come back. And now when I save, I expect it not to auto format. I saved, it did not auto format. I can still do leader FO. No, I can't actually. So just no formatting at all from this plugin. Okay, that's good to remember. I have removed it, so now it will auto format. So leader FO, sort of that shortcut, there's no formatting from the plugin if I disable it here. And this allows me some manual control up here. So I can configure certain plugins, have formatting, which conflict with some other language servers. Sometimes they're on the same buffer, and it just creates a mess. And so it's nice to be able to have that granular control here, to never even connect. Don't even start connecting. But this is a lot. And not now, but later I want to rethink how I can either present it or whether I can just hide it away as part of a plugin. At the same time, I want people to understand what it's doing. But on that note, now there's a line command called auto format disable, for example, and auto format enable. So I can say auto format disable, enter. Now it's been disabled. So if I were to do this and save, those spaces are still there. If I do auto format enable, come here and save, we have auto formatting back on save. So now I just have that be able to be configured. Because if I use the plugin straight up, I wish this was built into the plugin, to be honest, because if you're going to give me auto format on save straight up and I can't configure it, that is frustrating. Let's just take a look, actually, to see how they describe it. Formatting on save as default. And I guess, yeah, so they do it on attach. Like the local on attach does this. And there ain't nothing you can do about it except for do what I did and make this like convoluted configuration capability. I did it because I use it. So, all right, let's get back here. And I believe since the time I did this, certain things have changed. So I might have to redo these, but let's see. I might even go in and modify this based on what I actually end up using. So I'm saying, hey, get rid of this LS business over here and paste this block instead. And let's just go over. Python, Ansible, awk, bash, C, CSS, Cucumber, Docker Compose, Docker, ESLint. Note I've said formatting equals true explicitly. GraphQL, Go. I'm going to remove Go because I don't use Go. I don't know why that's there. TS server I do use, except I believe it's called TS LS now. And we can see what they're called by looking at the configs here. But I think there should be like a README file somewhere. Somewhere, anywhere. Love this again. I'm still looking for the list. Genuinely did think it would pop up when I did my search initially. So let's just look back again. No. TSLS, CSSLS, both of these should be on the same page. Where are you? Quick start configs. No, ain't it? Just looking for a list, you know, like just a list. configs, docs. This should be it. This should be it. And it is. Okay, great. So just to confirm, ts_ls is now what TS server used to be. It says note that this is not this. So is there still a TS server? There is not. So I will remove TS server here. LuLS IntelliFence, I believe that's for PHP. Perl, Prisma, Solargraph, which I do use. Rust. I don't use Rust, but I have it here. SQLS, Sorbet. Do not use Sorbet. I can get rid of that. That does not need to be commented out. Tableau. What's Tableau? And why did I ever think Toml? There are some configurations files in Toml that you see from time to time, but I will just end up removing this. Tailwind CSS, yeah, still there, still good. I do use it. VimLS, that's, I guess, for Vim script specifically. Volar, which I use a lot, but renamed VueLS. Okay, so, here we go. Also changed. I think in my actual config, these things are changed. But it's it's so complicated. Hybrid mode, non-hybrid mode. I'm just gonna go with this for now, and I'll come back and modify this later to have it be more functional. Okay. Overriding, So if I do no hybrid mode, I must remove TSLS. But hybrid mode, which is the default, I do not need to remove TSLS. Really wish there was a simple way to do this. This is very discouraging, the way this is set up. And YAML ls, I think I had this before, and it just creates, I think it uses some default YAML linting schema, and it's really annoying since most YAML files do not follow it. You can see here I had to turn this off, for example. Very quickly, I'm going to take a look at what my actual, I don't have that here. Let's go back here. Come back here. I think this is my actual file. Servers. So let's see. I guess I have no TSLS at all. And I'm doing everything through Volar, which is VueLS now. So maybe that's why it didn't work. And okay, so I do have YAML ls. So I'll end up keeping it. I think I did end up also changing certain things. I don't even remember what this range formatting. So like only format what you highlight. But for now, I'll leave that out. I still have leader LR. So, okay, it's mostly the same. So we'll keep it for now. And let me just exit, re-enter, just make sure everything is good. And typically when you do this, Mason will install whatever language servers you add in here automatically. Okay, let's carry on. No, we can't carry on because I made changes here. So I'm going to yank by that indent. Actually, I cannot just yank by that indent, unfortunately. Let me just take a look to see if my copying shortcuts are here. So my copying shortcuts to the clipboard are here. So I can So leader CYII, which yanks this indent, all of these based on this indent, into my clipboard. So now I can come here and paste. Because I did end up making those changes. There we go. Here, and then I guess I'll need to add, so C to get rid of it, paste to paste it. And then additionally, I will need to add those. So can I do VIC here? No, I can't. That's fine. I can probably just do VII here, which highlights the whole block. Control V to change to block mode. Capital I to go into insert mode, plus space, and then escape. And now I have those pluses in all the places that I want. Save, save. Come back here, make sure that things look fine. And they do, right? I think that's supposed to be like that. Because, yeah, that is indented in here. And that is, look, it is fine. Okay. So now whatever I removed from here, like go, is gone. Some language servers don't have great formatting. You might want to use a different formatter. Other times, multiple language servers will connect to a buffer and their formatters might conflict. That's what was happening to me way back when. This will be a problem a little later because I configured this with null ls, and I know that null ls is no longer maintained or used. All right, so something additional right up top. I guess I can go back to this format here, go back into my file. Right up top here, I'm saying add this little bit, please. vim.config diagnostic right above here. And what is this doing? It's adding a border, it's making it rounded, and it's always showing the source. This is super important to me. I want to know the source of the diagnostics that I'm getting. So now I'm getting that border. It looks nicer. It looks, there's like contrast between the rest of the page and this float here. And that's coming from this configuration. So I was missing it earlier, and now here it is, and it looks nice. Fantastic. Okay. So the next thing I will end up doing is installing Noise by Folk or Folke. I've heard that pronounced different ways. And I'm not sure if it still does everything that it used to do. So let's just search here. And let's see how it hooks up with LSP. Unclear to me right off the bat what it does. Yeah, LSP progress. That's what I wanted. And so let's see if it provides us the LSP progress. And let's go ahead and install and configure it. Just, I think, based on the defaults here. I might just copy this bit and paste it down here first, get a sense of what's happening, and then look at my own code. If you want to use the notification view, I do not love the notification view, as I recall. However, having that said, I do have it here. I do have it. And if I were to, again, wrong file. If I were to see noise here, I actually have it turned off in my local environment for a number of different reasons, which I will not go into now. I do want to keep it. So let's see what this feels like. Let me just quit this, come back in, install noise, and install Vim Notify. I'll exit and come back in again, and we'll see what's happening. So I no longer see what I want. The first thing I wanted was an indication that LSP is loading. I do not see that here. And that's the whole reason I'm introducing this. Language servers can take a bit of time to load up when connecting to a buffer. Let's add a plugin that will show us the loading progress. Folks, I do not see the loading progress. Is it disabled by default? So I'm looking for the LSP progress enabled. It seems like it is enabled by default, assuming that this is the default way of doing it. Unclear, but perhaps I can manually enable this. So LSP progress enable. Let's actually bring this over here so I can see both of these at the same time. LSP progress enable. So hopefully, actually the formatter should not bring the commas in. I swear, I thought there would have been like a loading thing somewhere here. So either the plugin is not working or it's having some other issues. I do not know. What if I get rid of notify? What if notify is the problem? No. That's frustrating because that's the whole reason I wanted to introduce the plugin. I do use the plugin for other purposes. Like I like that the command line comes to the center of the screen and not the bottom. That's actually a big plus for me. But it seems like I don't have that functionality. I think I ended up getting rid of the icons for a number of these things. But let's see. If I do slash, I don't mind these icons now. Colon. What else is there for like input purposes? I don't remember. I disable messages here and I disable notify. But maybe I can keep those. Really, I don't understand why LSP is not functional. The LSP notifier. I don't know how to handle that. Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess I know. I can go in and take a look at issues and PRs, and perhaps something revealing will happen. So already there's a bug on LSP hover Windows. Not seeing anything clear here. Let's go here and take a look to see progress. Oh, LSP progress view broken. Is this our friend? Make sure to update all plugins first. This is the end of 2024. That it is working after latest changes. So there were some changes that reference this, it seems. But we would have them right away. Or maybe this very lazy thing actually is the cause. So let's actually get rid of this. Here, it used to be, I swear it used to be here. Maybe if I go full screen. I'm looking in the corner here, but maybe I should look broadly everywhere. Oh, I did see something pop up here as I was exiting. But okay, it's not there anymore. I don't see it. I don't know why that message is showing up there. Oh, it happens when I press Control C. Annoying. I don't like it. A few things could be happening. Either like LSP is loading super fast, so there's no progress to be shown, or it's not working. Make sure to update all plugins first. Let's see what we can do on that note. So let's go into lazy, U for update, right? Or S for sync, U for update. So it installed Neovim web dev icons. Wonder why that was not installed before. It installed or updated text objects and Lua line, but did not update anything else. Sort of in that context that we would think here, noise or NUI or Neovim notify. So none of these were updated. As I was exiting, I saw a message here. I don't think it was this, but maybe it was. No. Disappointing. But this person says, sorry for the late response. Just wanted to confirm that it is working after latest changes. Well, I have those latest changes. I have changes after this, right? Maybe I can actually copy what they have in their setup here and see if that doesn't help. This is not helpful. 4 fewer lines. I do not want this distraction as I'm coding. Come on. There are no indicators, right? I'm not going, like I'm not losing it. Okay. View equals notify. By the way, what happens if I get rid of this notify thing here? When I press Control C, it does not notify me. Instead, I get these messages down here, actually. Did you see that? Not happening anymore. I guess if I quit, come back in, Control C, there it is. There's the message, which I like better, honestly. Like, this is simpler. It doesn't kind of punch you in the face. But like 6 fewer lines, I don't really, that notification is not important at all. Okay. But at least it's not annoying. But having that said, I am still not getting any LSP updates. Let's just quickly check to see if there aren't any other issues regarding progress. Priority of LSP progress. LSP progress change and latest. So this is in 2024. Neovim nightly breaks the noise LSP progress bar. Again, like last year, a year ago. But maybe it's related. No real help here. There's already an issue for me. It's already on nightly. Hoping this PR gets accepted soon. So there was a bug last year, but it's not working for me now. Let's just take a look if I've missed something in the setup, right? Typically, when something's not working, it is my own fault. It is highly recommended to use Neovim nightly, since a bunch of issues have already been fixed upstream. Neovim nightly. Okay. I'll try it. Look, I'll try anything. I will actually not try anything, but I will try this. Neovim brew nightly. No, thank you. We're not interested in maintaining distro-specific builds. No, because parse is intentional. What is happening here? Can I trust this? Can I do it? Yeah, I'm willing to try it. Why not? Let's bring this out here. Let's brew unlink, brew uninstall, tap it, and install Neovim nightly. This may take a while. I will check my messages in the meanwhile. I'm just replying to someone. I'll be back in a second, which is now. Okay, let's see. Oh, it installed. Well, I was on my, ugh. Okay, so let's see nvim-v. Why did it install so quickly? And should I really be on nightly? These are quick questions. Let's jump back in. Here, I did not see what I was looking for. Here, right? I didn't see any indication of, no. Let's bring back the notify thing. Let's get rid of this still. That's the basic config. Run it. Okay, look, it's fine. Let's see here in awesome Neovim. Let's go into the LSP section and let's just take a look to see. So there's LSP status from NVIM Lua, generating satellite components from the built-in LSP client. Let's just search for the word status to see if it's anywhere in that LSP. Action enhance. Progress really is the word I wanted. LSP progress. Let's look for progress now. Okay, so there's more progress UIs. Fidget is one of them. So now I will actually have to get a proper progress plugin and noise is not doing the job that I wanted it to do. So maybe noise can come in a little bit later. I do like noise. I want to find a place for noise in my setup, but it's not quite doing the job I need it to do. Just scanning here if I can see anything else. This. This, I think I had already opened it. Fidget is such a great name. Let's see if any of these help. Is there an indication here of what this plugin does? Shows the current containing function. I mean, this is useful. Early access diagnostic counts. These are all useful things, but not what I'm looking for at the moment. LSP progress. This is exactly the name that I'm looking for. And I guess it's really hard to see what they have here, but let's just zoom in. So something pops up. Or no, there's it. There it is. There's that update. Let me see if I'm looking in the wrong place. Should I be looking in the center here? No, nothing. That was me just giving noise one more chance to redeem itself. It's not clear what these are or how they work, but they can be configured in these manners. That's a lot of config there for whatever we're seeing there. Lots of config here. I do not want that. Let's go back to this format. Let's get rid of noise since it did not do what I wanted. And let's take a look at the install. For this here, bring it in. Right now we're just testing. We don't know what we'll run into. We don't know what will happen. We're out here discovering things slowly. Let's get out of here. Let's get back in. Now I'm looking somewhere on the screen for some LSP progress. Is it just fast? Am I mistaken? I gotta tell you, I am confused. So maybe that's it. Maybe it's just so fast that it doesn't take any time. Let me see if I can't, for example, go to random acts of coding, honeypot, which is one of the projects I was working on earlier. Let's go into this TypeScript file. I do not see any LSP loading notifications. Am I losing it? I don't think so. I don't think it's me. Let's try another one. Let's keep going until we no longer want to keep going. Okay. Setup is here. That's a user event. Yeah, I don't understand. Okay, that's fine. Let's move on. Fidget, hello. Let's see if Fidget can help us. This is nice. This is beautiful. I would love to see this. It just says, hey, do this. Okay, no problem. Although I'm not super hopeful given what we've dealt with so far. Okay, so exit, come back in. It's got to be me, right? I don't see anything. Look. Let's load up our project here. Ah, okay. Okay. Now I have to give noise a chance again because I don't know whether it's me. So let's bring noise back, basic noise config. And at least I know that there's like, it's either so fast or there's nothing much to load here. Okay. But there is something to load here. Okay, here it is. Okay. So noise does work out of the box. I just did not have the right project. Good to know. Let's get rid of notify because I don't like whatever keeps popping up here. I'm okay with certain notifications coming here in a very kind of subtle manner. Let's see what that does to. Okay, fantastic. I'm okay to keep these icons. Although I wish this was like a colon icon for old time's sake. Slash, question mark. I do like noise. It's very noise. Okay, let's open that up. I don't need fidget anymore. Although I did like what fidget was representing. Just trying to see if there's anything else I need to be aware of here. I mean, there's probably too much I need to be aware of. Command palette, long message to split, inquiry name. Override markdown rendering so that comp and other plugins use. I don't know what this means. I pressed some button and now I clicked something by mistake and now I lost where I was. Here we go. Tree sitter. Yeah, but I don't feel the need to do any of this at the moment. And then let me go back and look at my config, which was mostly just formatting and then disabling messages and notify. But I believe I could get away with that by removing this and then just keeping it super simple. And then I'll just use this honeypot project if I need to now get a sense of, oi, wait a minute. Did not expect that. 8 lines yanked into blah. No. Okay, so now it's coming up here. Maybe I didn't. Okay, let's do the yank. Okay, so now it's coming up here. I'm okay with that. I don't want to get distracted every time here. This is fine. Let's go to noise. And let's see what I'm saying about noise. So now I don't need this message anymore. Because it's not happening. And then here, I'll just paste first, add that comma, come back down here and delete. I like this. I'm going right with the defaults, simplifying the code here and making it super simple. I will bring dependencies up because that's what I've done for most of these other setups. And we'll leave it here. I will actually copy this and bring that back here and paste, save. And there we go. Okay, took us a while to get here, but we got here eventually. So noise, you're in. Let me give it one more test just for, there it is. There's that LSP loading notification. The whole reason for me to add this plugin and then kind of get these side benefits from it. Null ls is gone. Null ls is no more. Neovim. Awesome. Let's see what this page has to say about null ls. And if there aren't any other formatters, So none ls seems to be here. Auto format does no formatting by itself, but sets up auto command on format on save, preferring null ls over LSP client formatting. Well, there is no null ls. And then I guess we have formatter. So formatter.nvim, a formatter runner written into a LSP format, a wrapper around native formatting. Where was null ls again? So this is none ls, and this is in which section? LSP, straight up? The other option, of course, is I don't need it at all. Because let's see what I was using it for. Why does that happen every time I switch TMX panes? We're using it for Markdown and YAML. That's it. So I'm just going to get rid of it. Actually, let me see if I later on was using it for something else. I was for get signs, so that'll go away as well as we get to get signs. Oh, there's some fluid sort of explanation that I did here. It's like, oh, we can install Prettier with this, and now you have Prettier. That's fine. Actually, Mason commands. And now at least I could just leave Mason commands here. You know what? I'm gonna accept that. I don't care. Mason is a packet manager for LSP servers, linters, formatters. It will install the language servers for other software firms. It will also manage the installation of the. Let's use it to install Prettier. LSP uses Vim's selection menu for things like code actions. Let's pipe that. Let's not look at this right now, actually, because I'm jumping ahead, I feel like. No, I'm not. Actually, I am exactly where I need to be. So let's go back to the book. LLS is gone. Mason commands here as a header. And I'll clean this up later. I'm just trying to, my goal here is actually to just go through and make sure that everything still works. Okay. So Mason install. Okay, wrong window. Right window. Mason install Prettier. Works. LSP uses Vim's selection menu for things like code actions. Let's pipe those selection options into Telescope. We'll use Dresden plugin for that. Okay. Let's make sure that the config here is still the same. Boy. Warning. Warning. Danger. Something Robinson. Danger. Robinson. Danger Will Robinson. Is that the quote? Danger. Danger Will Robinson. Yeah, I guess that's what it is. Okay. It still works, but I recommend that you use snacks instead. Read more about why this decision was made and use snacks. Well, I will not be reading all of this. Has their own implementation. But Folk came out with snacks. So to snacks we go. Updated not too long ago. Actually, when did this happen? February 12th. Not too long ago. Small collection of quality of life plugins for Neovim. So this is a whole thing in its own that I need to just get an overview of. Is this going to be more than I bargained for? And that is what it looks like at the moment. You need to explicitly pass options for a plugin or set enabled equals true to enable it. A couple of plugins require Snacks element to set up early. Setup creates some auto commands and does not load any plugins. So I think I'll play around with it. So let me just copy this wholesale and see what it does. I think I want to use input, right? So what did it say here? Vim UI, snacks for input and for select. So it's saying, hey, you don't need it except for this little bit. But let's see what snacks offers us broadly. So lots of folk or folky things coming in here. Okay. It's installing. Done. I am seeing too much happening here. Some of it I do not love. One thing I do not like is this. This indent. Whoa. The scroll. Do not like it. Sorry, this is a lot at once. Okay. All right. Let's just go bit by bit and learn what this is doing for us. Oh, sorry, this is funny. I noticed that my folds are gone from here, probably because of these. Can I double click to close? No. I'm just trying to see what happens if I just keep clicking them, you know? And nothing happens except for that little kind of, disco lighting that pops up. I noticed my folds are gone here. So, but if I click here, ooh, look at this. Who is doing this? Okay, if I'm here and I go here, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's causing that. I'm just gonna quit and come back because I forget the command to open all folds. These messages are back. Do not love that. Maybe because of this. This is making me laugh so much. I don't know why. :E dot. So this is the Explorer, which looks a lot like this. And for some reason, both of these opened at the same time. So there's a directory explorer here. Let's see what it does when I go into this directory. So it works a lot like, can I yank? Can I paste? Can I paste it here? I can. Can I delete? I don't hate this. This is not bad. Explorer, so C tags will search for the file. It's actually quite nice. I am not wanting to use it at the moment though, so it will go away. Indenting will also go away. Okay, let's just slowly bring things in and out. So the notifier is still up here. Do not like. I see that the indents are gone, but my folds are still not there. So not sure what's modifying them. So let's get rid of notifier. Come back in. I do not see it here. If I do Control C, I see it down here, which is great. Okay. There's that other error message. I can live with that. Scroll has to go. Sorry. Words. I like words. I'm a big fan of words. Auto show LSP references and quickly navigate between them. I don't know what that means. Setup. Create and manage floating windows. Although, like, it doesn't seem like Unity explicit path options for a plugin or set enable to enable it. But then what's Win doing? You know, like, what's Win? I think it's just code in order for us to do something like this. No, I don't know what it is. I do not know what it is. Let me just see what happens when I do :SP. Yeah, just a regular split, :VSP. It's a regular split. Really dislike that scroll. It's killing me. Just, I don't like things like shifting drastically on the screen while I'm trying to do simple commands, you know? Look at this. This is, look, versus like just a little shift and blink and what have you. Am I getting docs? Yeah, I am. Okay. Actually, I'm not. So I might as well just get rid of this line that's causing. Okay. Let's see what else these provide. Big file. Deal with big files. I like that. I actually like that quite a bit. This does happen where sometimes I'm loading a huge file and there's massive issues because either there's some parsing happening, some tree sitter based actions happening. I will keep you, big file. Dashboard, what do you do? This is beautiful declarative dashboards. Why? How? Where? I don't understand. Is this like the loading dashboard? So is it just this if I did nvim? I mean, this is alpha. But if I got rid of alpha very quickly here, this is dashboard, isn't it? I do not like it. It's not the worst, but it is also not the best. I do not like it. So let's get rid of dashboard. Okay, it's gone. And then I purposely, you know, I want something like alpha. I want something low key, very basic, not a lot of flash. Okay, input. This is input. Leader RN. For rename. This is how it pops up for rename. That was very slow, actually. So leader RN. Now it's fast. Control C does not get rid of it. So escape. Leader RN. Escape. Escape again. So I need 2 escapes. Leader RN. Do I need 2 Control C's? Remove it. Control C once. Control C twice. 3 times. 4 times. 5 times. Escape once. Interesting. Why did I say I was introducing dressing? Code actions. So leader CA. I don't have any, either I don't have any code, so no code actions available. Maybe I should go to a code base that has potentially code actions available by default. Here it is. So this is what I want, right? This is what happens when I do code actions. Let's verify that that goes away if I get rid of input. So leader CA. No, I have code actions. It's likely the case that this is handled by noise, I feel like. Let's actually get rid of Snacks altogether. I'll still go over some of the other plugins in Snack, just so I know. No. Something in code actions is... So this is what code actions look like. Just regularly. Okay? I do not want that. So I do want this fixed. So Snacks was doing some good. It was probably Picker. Okay? So let's actually get rid of these and try this one by one. Leader CA. That's not it. So let's bring in input. Leader CA. No, input is not it. So it's got to be Picker. Leader CA. I didn't exit. My fault. Leader CA. There we go. Got it. So now we're getting some extra free things. I don't know what input does exactly. I do not know. Okay, I need to close all these windows. I don't know what input does exactly. So let's open up input. Let's open up, what else is there? Quick file scope. So quick file scope, excuse me, status column and words. Better vim.ui, the input for this like yes thing, but I don't know when it's triggered. I do like it, so I will keep it. I will get rid of these comments. So it's sort of looking like I'm going to do something like this, right? So input is here, picker is here. Quick file, what do you do? When doing nvim, it will render the file as quickly as possible before loading your plugins. And then what? I mean, I don't dislike the thought of that. So let's see. Nvim init.lua. I mean, that loaded up pretty fast. Is this faster? I don't know. But I'm happy to try this out, actually. It is not clear to me what this scope does. Oh, for indent scopes. It's saying test objects for indent scopes. I don't think this is necessary for me. Status column, what do you do? Won't even tell us. It's like, get out of here. I feel like I don't need this. And then words. It's just not clear to me what it does. So I'm okay keeping this configuration here. And we'll go back here and modify it. Let's go ahead and add that comma in there, and then dressing. We'll use the snacks.nvim plugin for that. Nope. Snacks.nvim plugin uses telescope under the hood for code actions and also provides an SOUI for LSP renames, etc. We've also enabled big files, big file support, sure, which helps expensive plugins when opening a big file. Similarly, quick file loads the file itself before loading plugins. And I feel like that covers everything in here. I'm going to review the text later as well. Okay. Glad to have gotten here, this far at least. Back to the book. Navic plugin. It seems like here I'm adding it to the LSP setup. Tells us about the code context. Let's see if, well, again, I'm just clicking on the first thing and I copied the wrong thing. Whoops. That's on me. And here I care about the setup and this. So the setup seems to be the same as it was when I had set it up. So just taking a look here. Attach, simple attach. And I'm saying, hey, if document symbol provider, then attach it. I think that's the right thing to do. Ah, yes, there we go. If document symbol provider, do the attach. Perfect. Okay, so things remain the same. I'm going to go ahead and do this implementation up here. There's also the case to be made that I should have done this sooner. But who knows? So let's find the section here and copy this little bit, which attaches Navic to the system. So now, I'm not sure if it'll be visible here. Maybe I need to get back in here. My understanding was that as I navigate here, there should be an indication of what function I'm in. So I was expecting that, but maybe I'll see that here as the language servers load up. Nope, not seeing anything. Ah, hold on. I have to plug into Lua line. Okay, so there's a lot of steps to do. Lua line is here. So I will need to get rid of this and add this dependency here. Okay. What just happened here? What is this text? Okay. You saw that extra text here, right? I mean, not just me. Oops. Okay. Yeah. So there's that. Let's add Navic down here. Format everything. Missing symbol. Thank you. And instead of this setup, we have this long ass setup here. I wish it was simpler. Let's see if maybe it is Lua line. It is not. In fact, if anything, it is more complex. For me, I'm settling for get location and is available. And I'm not sure if I need to define X specifically, but I am. So let's deal with it. Okay, so now when I come back in, yeah, there we go. So now we're seeing that path of like lazy dot setup, this, this, and this. We don't get to see what line numbers there are, which is what Control K. Although now it seems like it's taken over Control K. No. Control K shows up here in this little like absurd format. It's unusable. I don't know. I'm laughing. Like it's. I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with it. It's literally unusable. But okay, look, default and then modules. So that is working, right? Default modules. If I go into a view file here, will it? Okay, so that's not good. But if I go into here, I guess if I go into here, no, is there a function that I can go into here? So it seems like my Volar setup is not providing information. So I feel like I'm going to have to be back here with LSP setup again and really grind at it before I can get it functional. I mean, the whole reason for documenting this in this way is to like get my own setup out there so you can see what you might want to do with your setup. And so, yeah, I'm just doing things that are for me. Is feline better than Lua line? I never tried any. I never tried any of the other lines. But okay. Navic is working. It's just that I don't have it set up. So here's what I'll do for now. I won't look at the Volar setup just yet. Because if the the thing about the Volar setup is, let me open up the last file here. So what's this error? It disappeared so quickly. Request messages. So here's messages. Lua LSP client. So it is something to do with the LSP. TS server library JS. Can't find TypeScript JS or TS. So something with the TypeScript configuration is not working, which makes sense. Some errors happening. I can also do LSP logs, I believe. I thought I could do LSP logs, but I guess I stand corrected. Not an editor command. Could have sworn that it was. I'll have to look into that. Okay, fine. But all this to show, for example, I'm using reload game here. Actually, what? Oh, it's showing me the next. So it's showing me my searches. It's telling me this is what it mashed on, and these are my next searches. I don't know who's providing this. I don't know in all this fit of pluginery. I don't know. I don't dislike it. I like it. Oh, it's instead of kind of being down here, it's right in front of my face. It is a little shocking, but it is also nice because I have immediate feedback about how many what it's searching on. So if I do params, it's right there, and I know that there's another params in this buffer. So I found it a little abrupt, but on second viewing, I actually like it quite a bit. And so that's a welcome addition to the family. Let's look at reload game again. So I'm here. If I do GD to go to that definition, server does not support. So it just means that Volar or TS server are not playing well together, which makes sense because I had TS server or TSLS disabled in my config. So I might spend some time messing with that. I might spend some time messing with that off stream. But for now, I feel like I'll continue for a bit here because I want to try Blink comp. And I want to see what it provides me. So first things first, let's get this XRC set up in here. I like this. I did use it before, but I had to disable noise for a reason that I'll share later. So autocomplete or completion. So Vim does have built-in completion. If you do CX, Control X, Control O, you could also trigger with Control N. So if I did something like ignore Control N, it will complete. And I think IG, Control X, Control O, there we go. I can't navigate that using, so IG, Control X, Control O, and Control N and P can navigate that for me. It's actually very nice. It says text. It's grabbing that text from somewhere on that page, probably. My assumption is that it's not hooked into the LSP. And then this is my setup for configuring NVim comp. Because I felt like I had it pretty fine-tuned for my own needs. And then I had it hooked back up into search because I wanted auto-completing while I'm searching for the thing that I'm searching for. So I've searched within my search. It's one of my favorite features. And the configuration here allowed me to accomplish that. But as I navigate, like comp RG, love that as well. Like, absolutely love that. Tags, Tmux, I don't like it that much. I thought I would, but I don't. RG for sure. So now I do want to get into checking Blink comp. Let's just give it full attention here. And let's see what it's getting me. That's my last sip of this soda. I actually like that. It provides accessibility, pluggable sources, works out of the box, whatever that means. Extensive LSP support tracker. So these are all the things that it supports within LSP. Label, tags. I don't know what most of this means. Okay. Auto brackets support. Not sure what this means. Let's open that. Command line completion. This is super important to me. Terminal completion. Curious. Comparison with built-in, comparison with NVim comp. So this is LSP tracker. This is, what is this? List. I do like how they have these like GIFs in their docs to explain what's happening. I don't know why I clicked on this. Was it auto brackets? Yeah. Maybe not a big deal. Nothing revelatory there for me. If you want command line's behavior to match the default mode, try the following config. Menu will not show automatically. Pressing tab will show the completion menu and insert the first item. I like that. Subsequent tabs will navigate, Control N, Control P for previous. I do like Control J and K because they're right on the fingers. When noise is detected, ghost text will be shown. I like that because we just added noise. But I wonder whether this will work for my particular use case. Which I set up in this manner. Let's see. So git command line, right? For search. So here's the default command line setup here. But I additionally added it for search as well. No, I added RG here in colon and then made my entire search colon based for, yeah, this is what I did, not this up here. This, which honestly changes the way I navigate. It's very hard to demonstrate, I feel like, unless you're used to using it. Because when I demonstrated to people, they did not understand what was happening or the benefits of it. But when I use it, I love it. Okay, that's enough document reading. Okay. Let's just take a look. Smarter scoring, proximity, prefetching, ghost text, signature held, bracket support. Okay. Avoids complexity, sensible defaults, updates on every keystroke. You may try magazine.nvim, which includes many performance patches. Boosts completion item score, typo resistant, core sources. Now, if I cannot use RG here, I don't know. And if I cannot configure this deeply to get completion within my search, I don't know. Command line, key map, sources. Is RG a source anywhere here? Rip grep. Not seeing it. But let's try it. Having all that said, this is a lot. This is also quite a bit, but it's doing some additional hooking in here. No comments. Okay, let's see. Let's take this block here. Let's go with it. Let's not waste any more time. That's enough. That is enough. Okay, let's go. And let's add that comma at the bottom. Let's take a quick look. We got our version set up. They use friendly snippets. Let's just see what it does. Okay, let's exit, re-enter, and get a sense of what is or is not happening. So if I do key, map, tab, key, tab, no, map, enter, nope. Could have sworn, Control Y takes up, sorry. So default is Control Y to accept. Control Y. I'm not going to do that. So super tab. Okay, let's come back in here. Already I'm liking a few things. So can I do Control J or Control K to navigate? I cannot. So I can do Control N and P. That's cool. Don't hate it. If I press Control C, so let's see. If I do comp, Control N, and I press Control C, it keeps it. So it doesn't cancel it. But that might be because of my Control C mapping. So let me get rid of that for a second and see whether, what did I do? I thought I just commented this out, right? But what was it before that? Now my undo patterns are gone. Because I left the completion thing in there. So silly. Okay. Let's come back. C-C. Let's get rid of that. Let's come back here and let's see what happens. So comp, Control N, Control C. No, so it wasn't my Control C. I'm trying to, if I type in blah and it's giving me build, but if I press Control N to go somewhere, I press Control C, I feel like it should bring me back to blah. So I'm testing for these oddities. I'm not sure what NVim comp does. So I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just saying, hey, I'm just testing stuff out. So tab seems to be working fine. Can I get Control J, Control K mappings? I do not know. Here are my sources. Can I get rep grep at a source? I don't know. I do like this. So if I search for LSP, see how there's like this ghost text for LSP info? And I think if I press tab, it works and I can tab through the rest as well. That's really cool. That's amazing. Very nice. I actually like that a lot. Something is wrong here. Oh, that's keyboard interrupts. So that's when I press Control C to get out of there. If I press escape, it goes here, which is weird. Let me search for something. Fuzzy. So now those are all the instances of fuzzy in the project. That's fine. That's nice. So note what I want is, let's say I know that I'm looking for completion in the entire project. So I press leader /, and this is my global search. And then I'll type in here fuzz. Now I want this to be auto-completed to fuzzy. So I want autocomplete as I'm searching for a word in a project. If I do appearance, I want this to autocomplete because I know appearance exists in the project, but I want it to be magical. And if I cannot set up blink to bring me that kind of magic, I can't use it. So let's see. Let's see if there's like a rip grep anywhere here. Grep, search. No. Buffer completion from all of the buffer sources. So yeah, okay. So not really seeing what I want to see. Let's look at more sources. Community sources. All right, there we go. Here we are. Blink Copilot, rip grep, C tags, another rip grep, datbot completion. That's for database stuff, which I do not use yet, but maybe something I should take a look into. More Copilot. So everyone's writing their own Copilot and AI plugins here. It's nice. Tmux, which I won't use this time around. Env, curious. Input method. Also curious. So let's see what these provide. I won't go into too much detail here, actually. So install this and then add rip grep as a source. Okay. Let's try this. This is actually, this little bit actually is important to me. And it does make the, it does make the configuration a little bit more convoluted in some ways. So let's go back here. We got sources default. We're going to add rip grep in here. Rop grep, rip grep. I'm already liking auto completion being present. Because now if I go here in my dependencies, I can have that. Okay, great. And then what am I looking at? So I got rip grep in there, and I think providers. Need to copy that entire block. I think that's correct. We'll dump that here. Looks correct. Get out of here. Come back in one more time, just for good measure. And let's see. So if I do something like search, which doesn't exist, but let's say I start typing in other things here. See, I want this to work. So I don't want let's explore. Okay, yeah, this is what I want. Well, but this is just doing like, because it's Explorer, it's looking for a file. But if I did something like echo, now, if I did rip grep, I want rip grep as an option. I'm not getting it as an option. It's sort of picking its own choosers or pickers or whatever you want to call them. But I guess if I did that's not what I expected. Provider rip grep not working. Good to know. Messages. Unexpected field in configuration. I must have dumped it in the wrong place. So I think this goes inside sources, actually. Yeah, I misread that. Good to know. My fault. Also my fault, but harder to debug now. Let's get rid of this bit altogether. Works. So then let's come back up here and copy this bit all together. And hopefully this should work. Okay. Sorry about that. We're back. Fuzz. And here, so there's snippets, which is nice. Fuzzy. Okay. Auto tap, 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 tap doesn't work. Auto, this works. Of course. I gotta tell you, I love this. Ghost text. I do not love the rest. So while I'm here, let me actually demonstrate what this nvim conf provides me. And maybe later on I can spend some time figuring out Blink. But for now, let's copy this whole chunk of code. And hopefully this will work out of the bat. But let's see. Oops. Okay, saving that. And then also I'll make these changes out here in create a user command for search, wherever this is. So over here. And then replace my leader slash with this little bit here. So all that goes away in favor of this. Let me just make sure it's all the same. And now it's being taken care of by that little bit. So now I'm getting all these nvim comp plugins being installed. We'll get back in so I can show you why I like it so much. Okay, well, I'm thinking how I show you, or where rather, not how per se. So let's say I'm here and I do file system. One, it's configured to show me the source. So I know this is coming from rip grep. It could also come from the buffer, but in this case, it is coming from rip grep. I can use Control J and Control K to navigate. And when I do, it shows me where it's coming from in this window here, which I can also scroll. It's telling me file line is coming from this file here. Control JK is stuff that I configured. So down here somewhere, yeah, KJ, look at that. I'm sure the other thing can be configured as well. I'm just saying I spent a bunch of time making this work just the way I want it to. But beyond that, if I do search within project like this, note as I'm typing in fuzz, I get autocomplete for the word fuzzy. It's coming from the buffer. But it could come from rip grep or the tmux or any other source. Let's try that again. Let me do completion. So now as I'm searching for the word completion, it is providing completion while I'm searching for it. So now I press tab, enter, and voila, I'm searching for completion. So especially if you're in a code base that you're navigating, that you're new to, or even if you're familiar with, just even beginning to search for something and then have it be completed, you're like, oh no, this is the exact thing I'm looking for. Let me get to that. You know, that is super helpful. Why I disabled noise, by the way, is because of this. So when I do that now, this comes in. If I press tab, it doesn't complete here unless I press another key like space, and then it completes. And I was like, why is that happening? So let's disable noise and see what it looks like down here in your regular command line. So leader slash for project-based search. So if I start typing in something like MUN, so I get my autocomplete. If I press tab, it completes here. So I can visually see that I have selected this. If you keep pressing tab, it rotates or navigates through them, right? And all of these are coming from the buffer. Look how cool this is. Like, again, I don't think people understand how amazingly amazing this is. But it really helps me for sure. Right? Okay. So noise now, for whatever reason, does not do that. Let's bring back noise and let's just see if it's broad or if it's like a small issue. So if I do LSP log, yeah, I pressed tab there and it did not complete. So maybe maybe it's an NVIM comp issue. And I can try and configure it here. I should be wrapping up the stream. It's already like, what's the time? It's 10:30 where I am. And I was like extra tired today too. So there's no noise accommodation here. This setup is also very involved and intense. So let's take a look at the wiki to see if I can't find something about noise or something like it. Because look, like if I'm here, I'm doing LSP info. If I press tab, if I press enter, it does run, which is great, but LSP, it doesn't complete. I want to see it full, which, by the way, with the ghost text business, Blink did an excellent job of. So let's see if, I'm looking at, okay. Ghost. So there's some ghost text stuff happening here. Let's see if there's any ghost indications here. There are not. So I guess you can configure some ghostness. Get up topic, wiki. Let's go back to the wiki as well. I like how this person's kind of taken a photo of their laptop screen with their phone, but also did not share any of their setup. Okay, so these are all the plugins that are available for NVIM comp. But I want to look at its ghosting capabilities. This is just a list of sources. That's fine. Example mappings. I think I grabbed a bunch from here in order to make what I wanted work the way I wanted. Menu type. Let's just take a look here for appearance purposes. Let's see if ghost is anywhere here. Nope. Menu direction, basic customizations, fancy icons. So let's be kind. I don't know that I'm using it. Nope. No kind. No kindness involved. Looks nice. Let's see if there's noise and NVIM comp things out there in the world. What are they doing here? Like, I can't imagine. Oh, hold on. Hold you on just a moment. I do remember seeing NVIM comp here. But I can't imagine this will solve my problem. Can it? Will it? Could it be? So if I now do LSP log, no. Look, it's not. By the way, look how cool this is. These are coming from command line. So these are variables that you know are part of the command line commands. And these things here are coming from the buffer. And this one's coming from root grep. That is super powerful. Also, unfortunately, it doesn't, as I tab through, it doesn't kind of select in the command line here. I guess I could create a ticket for it. I wish I knew enough Lua to solve this kind of thing. Let's try this. Cool. And paste that here. Let's get rid of this, bring it here. Let's paste that, get rid of that, and that, and that, and that. I would have thought this would, yes, I'm missing this symbol. There we go. Let's see if that helps. Nope. Look, I'm tabbing through all these and it doesn't complete here. It doesn't fill it up. I'm going to spend just a few more seconds trying to see if I can't figure that out. And if I can't figure that out, then I cannot figure that out. I actually have noise disabled in my daily Vim config as a result. Comp. Let's see. Let's check out noise is probably not a bad idea. It's not clear to me reading this what the issue that they're messing about is, but let me see. Regex parser is not installed, so :ts install regex. Do you see that? When I press space, it completes. That is nice. So now let's run it again. Sorry, not that. That's also nice. Did not expect to quit. That switch key. Check health. Yeah, it doesn't work. Noise. So now all of these things are fine, but look, when I do check tab, space path comes in, but it doesn't come in before that. Maybe one of the closed issues has like some config, you know. Just scanning through to see if I see anything relevant. I am not seeing anything super indicative here of the issue I'm looking for. The other thing was that's noise, and this is nvim conf. I just want to see maybe if the versions were fixed, you know, so like if the branch tag was fixed and then I need to get the latest in. That does not seem to be the case. Unfortunately, let's take a look at this quickly. I don't know what it's trying to say here. It can be disabled. Yeah, not sure. Not sure if this is relevant to me, unfortunately. Let's see if any open pull requests address it. I mean, I'm just assuming it's a noise thing, but it might not be. One last look at NVIM comp, and then we'll call it a night. Actually, could it be the case to have a lot of these things here and maybe they're causing issues? No. Does not seem like it. But maybe worth trying later. I wonder why they have this weird setup that's based on Vim script with Lua embedded within it. And the rest of it is just like, get yourself to the wiki, get thee to the wiki. Maybe in discussions. Hey, this is me. I think somebody answered this question. Got it. You can use like so completion self command. Is this true? I don't know what I do with code here. Sorry. Completion cell command. Let's see. I actually wouldn't mind playing around because here's where I'm using Vim input, right? Can't highlight this because it's, but fn.input. Let me see if I can't bring this back. Here, comment this out for now. Come back in, and leader slash, so global search. So if I type in fuzzy, no autocomplete here, like I was getting before, because I'm in Vim input land. But this fella says, you know how you're passing in the prompt? You can pass in completion equals shell command. If this works, that would be pretty cool. So prompt equals, let's actually just make sure that this works for starters. Leader slash fuzz works. Fantastic. Let's do this and copy this in wholesale. And let's join that. Let's save. And let's see if this works. It doesn't. And just to demonstrate the difference between what's happening now and what I want, bring this back in. Leader slash fuzz. Look at that. That autocomplete. In my search, fuzzy. Except noise is breaking. So I'm in this like weird area. I should probably open a ticket for noise. And hopefully, unfortunately, this didn't work. Like auto-magically anyway, but I don't think I'm smart enough to really figure all of this out. Oh, hold on. Shell command line, right? And not shell command. Fuzz? No. No. Worth a shot. I'm just undoing this until I get back here. And now, comp. That's what I'm looking for. So no, I'm not, the tab isn't working within noise, which is really annoying. Really ruins my rhythm and flow as I'm working. Okay, so I think I'm going to wrap it up here for today with some big question marks to fix moving forward. So I do like the progress that we've made, but within LSP, my default sort of language server configurations here, TSLS and Volar don't work well together, and those are things that I use regularly in my day-to-day. So I need VueLS to work with TSLS. And the second thing is noise, unfortunately, does not fill autocomplete on tab, which maybe I'll record a video or a GIF and post on noise, and maybe somebody can help with that. But other than that, we did get to this bit. We have tags to go. Oh, AI Copilot. I did document it. For some reason, I thought I didn't document it. But I do have more because I use a few different Copilot things. I think maybe next time we'll work with trialing different AI plugins because I do want to see what's out there. I use this version of the Copilot plugin, which gives me AI autocomplete through GitHub's Copilot. But I'm willing to try some other plugins that may use other sources or have other interfaces. That's still a curiosity right now. And then we get into Git, Fugitive, one of my favorite plugins. NullLS has got to go. And then we're really close to the end after that. Terminal stuff. And then I do need to figure out some of these other plugins, which are super useful. So I need to like write out what they do and actually describe what they do. I don't know if I use these still. This one I do. Okay. Anyway, so next time I'll start off with sort of the AI stuff, or close to the AI stuff anyway. Yeah, good in tags and then AI. And maybe I'll leave some of these questions that are open until the end, until I sort of review everything together and figure out where to go next. Okay, that's it for today. Let's go home, everyone.